Hello and welcome again to Binary News. My name is Marta. Today is the 16th of July and this time I have some rather interesting news regarding Call of Duty Black Ops 2. As Activision are actually being sued by Panama's former militaristic dictator Manuel Noriega, and please excuse me for the probable mispronunciation of that name. And basically he's suing them over using his likeness and name in, of course, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Now, if you've played the game, you should be fairly familiar with the mission in which Alex Mason and Frank Woods track Noriega to outer Panama City in the level Suffer With Me. If you haven't seen it or played it, a video to this mission is linked in the description below this video. Now, he is now in his 80s and actually is currently incarcerated in a Panama prison after jail time in both the US and France for crimes committed during his rule, which lasted between 1983 and 1989. Now, he's actually suing Activision for, quote, blatant misuse, unlawful exploitation and misappropriation for economic gain of his image in Black Ops 2. Now, according to Courthouse News, the lawsuit, which was filed in the Los Angeles County Superior Court, Noriega's lawyers said, quote, in an effort to increase the popularity and revenue generated by Black Ops 2, defendants used, without authorization or consent, the image and likeness of plaintiff in Black Ops 2. Defendant's use of plaintiff's image and likeness caused damage to plaintiff. Plaintiff was portrayed as an antagonist and portrayed as the culprit of numerous fictional heinous crimes, creating the false impression that defendants are authorized to use plaintiff's image and likeness. This caused plaintiffs to receive profits they would not have otherwise received. And Noriega is actually saying that the game portrays him as a, quote, kidnapper, murderer and enemy of the state, and wants damages for unjust enrichment, unfair business practices, violation of common law publicity rights, as well as lost profits. Now, at the time of recording, Activision have yet to file a response, but Eurogamer helpfully spoke with a tech lawyer by the name of Jazz Purewal, who said that they don't actually have to answer the lawsuit due to Noriega not being a US citizen or even a US resident. And he said, quote, this means that his legal claim becomes questionable because it's unclear on what legal basis he can actually bring a case against Activision. He did say that in some conditions the US does extend publicity rights law to foreigners, but it can be a fairly difficult process. Now, for those of you wondering, perhaps his reign was a bit before your time, as it was, of course, as I said, between 1983 and 1989. He was incarcerated by the US and France for various crimes, including murdering a US Marines, killings which took place when he was a de facto ruler, drug trafficking, racketeering and money laundering, among others. And in Panama, he was incarcerated on corruption, human rights violations and murder charges. So, to be honest with you, it sounds like Activision have painted a pretty accurate picture of a nasty piece of work. And to be honest, I think he's got a bit of a cheek doing this, saying, oh, they unfairly betrayed me, and if he honestly believes that, then I don't even know what to say. To be honest, I don't really see this going anywhere. How can you even quantify, you know, they made sales that they wouldn't have made because of this bit? Well, how do you know that? How can you prove that? You can't take it out of the game and resell it. The sales have been made. You can't argue that those certain X amount of sales wouldn't have been made without this section, because, well, how can you argue that? I just don't see how this is even possible, even if, when you know, you don't count in his horrible crimes himself and the fact that he's not even in the US at the moment, of course. So I don't think anything's going to happen over this, to be honest, but we'll see. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.